Alright, so here today I kind of wanted to update this, give you a bit of an idea of what's up next, because it looks like a few confirmations have sort of come through here that we now checked, and it sort of says that, yeah, the collaboration is coming next. And on top of that, I also wanted to show you a bit of a post that came over here from some of the sort of business articles, basically from Shift Up, sort of confirming that their next big thing is this. And that's kind of where I think all their effort's going, and you'll see what that is in a second. And then on top of that, whatever collab confirmations I want you to know. So again, you're ready for what's up next, which I'm waiting for them to announce one thing, and then we're good to go. With that being said, let's hop into it. New to the channel, like and subscribe, it helps out a ton. Let's hop into it. Yeah. First up, real quick, where are we at? We talked about this already. Obviously, up and coming, there's only two things that can happen. It's either a skip into collab or collab into skip. It looks like they're going with collab into skip. It seems that is what they're going for. If you're wondering why, we sort of ish have an idea to why that is, and I'll show that to you now. Where we stand right now simply is if they're not doing a stream, the collaboration should get announced around Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They do a stream for every collab. I don't know if they're going to announce one this time. I don't know if they're going to do one. If they do a stream again, it's Friday, Saturday, they do that sort of thing. They sort of hype it up and do it that way. But this is our first ever additional collab of the year. So we don't know. Is a stream planned? Did they just do a stream because it's Stellar Blade? What is the entire process here? We don't know. I will say that doing a stream is better. It creates more hype for the update. And again, they have so much to announce during that stream. Quality of life fixes and the new content. They have so much to actually show there. It'd be nice, but who knows? So that's where that stands. But what are the reasons we kind of know it's a collab? First, if you look at update times, don't ask why I know this. Because how I know this is because when I do streams and such, that's sort of how I plan my streams and everything. So when it comes to a update, so for example, Romantic Valentine, which is the masked update, which was pretty much over here, the masked update and the anchor update, when you look at end times, you can confirm what the next update is, if it's a major update or not. If you were to take a look into this, you can also use this in the future. Most of the time it is correct. So for example, Romantic Valentine, the story update, it ends at this time over here, correct? February 19th. So because of the timing and the date also, it sort of confirms there's a major update coming after. And if you were to look at it, the major update was in fact a collaboration. Now, I have a patch notes, for example, this is True Flavor. True Flavor brought us Crust. So now a major update is technically confirmed after that, correct? Now, use the logic here. True Flavor was Crust. Crust major update, obviously, was Little Mermaid and Mahara. Now, third time, Lord for Justice is 2359, right? Same date. That's how this one works. Lord for Justice, again, is to show it to you K. Because of that, if you look at over here, K runs into Stellar Blade. Okay, that's sort of how it goes. It doesn't always happen for seasonals. Seasonals are weird like that, but it happens for collaborations and pilgrims. That's what it happens for. To prove my point again, if you look at it, this is... Whose update is this? This is Eve's update. So because Eve's update doesn't run into anything massive afterwards, Story Event Part 2 is the finale of the event. That's the last day. It ends at this time over here. Okay? Do it again. This is Coins and Rush. Coins and Rush is ending at this time, which means obviously there's a major update. If you look at this one over here, 459. So again, it's not the 23. Pretty much this is Emma Tactical Upgrade, because Emma did not run into anything major. Emma obviously ran into Aid and Milk. They're still standard units. Whenever it's a collab, it's like that. There's also one more that I opened up for proof. That is over here, 459 again, and this was the drop for Summertime, right? Dorothy, Serendipity, and everything associated, and that again ran into Emma. So I showed you, I don't think I showed you this one, but this one also says 459. For some reason, some limiteds don't do it. This one ran into that. I showed that to you. Arcana was there as well. I opened it somewhere here, but that's 459 as well. But that's sort of how it works. All right, end all, that's how it works. So because of that, it looks like because the patch notes, right, our current patch notes for, again, the bunnies, says that, sort of confirms that, yes, this is Coins and Rush Part 2. Yeah, looks like a collab is next. Take it a step further, if you wanted the quicker confirmation, should have said this one earlier. Miranda's right there, and Polly's right there, part of the collaboration trailer. I didn't put two and two together. I forgot that, yes, Polly is in here, so Miranda's obviously going to be part of this event and such. It's going to be a fun one. I'm actually excited to see this one, but, you know, it is sort of that way. When they tease that, obviously she's a part of the event. She's something going to be part of it and such. So most likely, yes, it is collaboration up and coming, which sucks because it would have been theoretically an extra multi in your account. It sucks that they did it this way. Would have been so much nicer to have a standard in between. because it's an extra multi. It's an extra almost 2 multis, because again, you have 2 weeks, whatever freebies you get associated in that time frame, and on top of that, the extra 10 pull, the extra like 900 gems, everything associated, you had all that, the extra raids and everything. It would have been nicer, right? The extra PvP payout because of the month reset. I mean, would have been cooler to do it that way, but you know, it's, I guess, what it is. And yes, a little bit after the trailer ended up coming out, this also came out. I never got to talk about this, but yeah, it looks like Ada is basically confirmed in the trailer, and that's basically their sort of way of showing that off. If you were to look at this over here, this is pretty much paying homage over here to this scene in the actual, right, game being, again, Resident Evil. If you were to look at this over here, similar entirely, right? I believe this is, again, Commander. Obviously getting held at gunpoint over here in a similar fashion. Obviously, Ada over here, obviously holding Leon at, again, gunpoint. But pretty much similar thing. Ada is confirmed to be the second character. And off of this, I think we all now know that. So I'm going 2 characters. Let's say Ada, let's say Jill, some sort of update. They could do it because sometimes our collaborations are themed to the previous update. You had Summer with pretty much whatever it was. Eve was like the start to Summer in a way, right? Was she not? You had Eve, Summer sort of celebration. You had that like Summer-esque like themed thing there. You had also whatever it was it back then, the schoolgirls, the maids as well. You had those things. Amelia was in the maid costume, and you just had the maid update previous to that. So sometimes it happens. We'll see how that goes, but Ada is there pretty much, and this was again shown a little bit after. So shout out to this person for cooking that up and confirming that. Also, just want to show this to you as well. A business post article sort of came out over here talking about Nikke and such. And if you're wondering what their next big thing and where they're sort of focusing their attention to, so their hype up and their talk to investors is pretty much confirming that their 3rd anniversary is going to be like their big thing. They're emphasizing that people are looking forward to it, and this is again, and is thus expected to see further sales growth. If you're wondering where Nikke is going, so obviously Stellar Blade, they have that. Their entire talk to investors is, oh, we got Stellar Blade 2 in the works. They got like, oh, Project Witch is in the works for 2027. But what about Nikke? Nikke's next big thing is not really the collaboration. Their next big thing and their next big focus is 3rd anniversary. If you're wondering where they're at right now, what they're cooking up, that's that. Pretty much their response to obviously investors. So 2.5 anniversary didn't do that well. As much as players say Siren, Mahara, whatever, if it was the gotcha drama, if it was CN around the time, a little bit after, who knows what it was, but the update did not do that well. 2.5 did not cook. Second was huge. Cinderella was great. In comparison, you also had 1.5. I think Crown was pretty solid. You had the, I believe, Modernia gotcha skin, and you also had Crown's gotcha skin. Even though, you know, you'll say whatever about Modernia. Modernia sold, and so did Crown. People were like, oh, the shooting pose for Crown sucked, but the skin's burst animation was so good, players went with it. They were happy with that skin. Obviously now, fast forward, they've had whatever it was, the 2.5 be unsuccessful, and that's like Nikke's biggest update. Seeing that being not that good wasn't the best news for them. So now their goal is emphasizing, yes, we are trying to make this update the best yet. Obviously, people are looking forward to it. This is going to be the further sales growth they're looking for. And again, coming off of whatever they had with the success of, they say, Stellar Blade collaboration. Obviously, Summertime was successful. You've seen that. That Roppy gotcha skin sold. Again, did Rouge's gotcha skin sell? I don't know. I genuinely don't. It ranked on JP. That could have been AIDS, you know, hoo-ha's. I don't know. It could have been her. It could have been, you know, the hype of Bay. It could have been the hype of anything. There was so much, again, that this update had to offer where you could say that it wasn't Rouge's skin. It was other stuff, right? Again, it did not do anywhere close in Korea. It did like top 8, which is, again, for Nikke in Korea, not the best. And for global, I don't even think it charted top 10. So below that probably. With that knowledge, coming forward, I think that maybe Anniversary might have some cool skins, maybe has some crazy update stuff, but they did mess up Mahara, players say. They then went up to mess up Rouge, players say. I don't know what's going to happen there, but what I will say is they're putting all their effort to making that update crazy, trying to bounce back from whatever Siren also failed with, being the storyline. Players didn't like a lot of the story plots, and the reuse of constant dog crab scenarios, and also the lack of variety, and also the lack of this. So again, those issues that we had with previous anniversaries, they need this update to succeed, because again, they can't have 2 failed anniversaries in a row. That big update of the year they look forward to, not having it is a bit worrisome to investors. So, curious on how this goes, curious on how they do things here, but what do you think, right? Can they fumble this one? Will this be their full send of effort, full send of insane plans and everything associated? Who knows? But as of now, we don't even know who the hell they could do as the Nikke. That's the issue. We don't even know who they could do. There's like 6 options, 7 options. Cinderella was much easier to kind of guess. Even Robbie was easier to guess. Whatever it was, Siren was easier to guess because they leaked it. This time, nobody knows who they could go for. Because again, there's a bunch of options, so I don't know. We'll see. Take care, have fun. I don't even know who I would pull for. At this point, there's like 3 of them. I don't even know. I'd rather just get Leviathan and Behemoth, bro. That would be a sick themed update, but I might be literally in the, like, 10% of the community in that knowledge. I don't know, or that thought process. Just,